Hello and welcome to another video. In today's video, we're going to talk about free college and what free college should include. I don't think we ought to be having people get free college for being a lawyer or being a artist, anything to do with entertainment, anything to do with business, business, marketing, sales, anything to do with sports. So the things that college should be free. So if people are smart enough to be a doctor, money should never be an issue. They should just, if they have the money, if they have the intelligence and the motivation, then that should just be it. They shouldn't have to worry about coming up with the money to be a doctor. More doctors, more better. Now, talking about doctors, not these freaking weirdos that are doing all these sex change operations and fucking plastic surgery. That's all fake bullshit that needs to say bye-bye, We start fucking licensing childbirth and people aren't going to need all this plastic surgery. Yeah. And building a society based on good, honest principles and values, right? Then you're not going to really need all the superficial stuff that goes along with sex change operations and the sex change operations, that's licensing childbirth. That'll go away. Right now, people, the level of retardation in human beings is pretty high because, there's zero attention paid to breeding, right? If you start breeding Chihuahuas with Great Danes, you're going to end up with some problems, okay? So that's what's going on with that. So science, education, science, education, and doctor, that covers like most of what we actually need. Engineers are very important, but everybody should just be an engineer. Like that should be basic level stuff, and just like getting to that level of math and whatever, just basic humans are all engineers, are all EMTs, first responders. So when you have, everyone around is trained in these things, then the needs for, a lot of stuff just goes away, right? When you have somebody, right, like right now, for instance, firefighters. And I don't know about EMTs. I know firefighters work like an odd schedule, right? And so they have this total lifestyle and they train and they do all this, right? But really, when it comes down to it, adjusting society and not pushing stuff forwards crazily like capitalism does, right? Which creates the potential for fire a lot, because it's cheaper to, build this that could burn than it is to build this that can't burn, for instance, right? So that's one major thing that'll just be changed up. Another thing is that intelligent humans can learn more than one thing, right? So, you have average intelligence people, and if they're focused and they don't have any big problems in their lives, they can go and get, master's degrees, doctorates in, one little thing, focused thing, and they go and, hopefully it's a useful thing they get their doctorate in, but a lot of times it's just, complete wasted bullshit. So, obviously when people start to go and get like super, and I speak a lot, this is the resource-based economy view of things, right? So as a resource as a resource-based economy, we want people with high levels of education doing everything. And you can think about it as a lifelong journey, I mean, initially, kids are learning just all the basics, right? And firefighting and EMT and engineering and all this stuff, right? And that's like teenagers. Yeah, kids could learn so much faster. And teachers, I mean, classrooms, we're talking about 5 students to 1 teacher. 5. That's it. We need lots of teachers educating people, okay? That's the whole focus, right? But educating people about actual stuff that's important. Regenerative agriculture, farming techniques that aren't destroying the earth like a lot of the farming techniques are now. A lot of the farmland in Europe is just ruined because they just spent decades using chemical fertilizers. Their land's just garbage, and it's going to be garbage for a long time until it can be, kind of worked back to, non-polluted soils. And all this is important stuff. Fucking makeup tutorials? Not really important. Makeup in general? No. Like, that just shouldn't be something people give a shit about, right? I mean, makeup is for basically, in general, women that aren't that attractive to try to make themselves more attractive, okay? And why do they need to be more attractive? Well, capitalism, get a better job, get a better husband, easier life, whatever, right? So, and a lot of this is just, I mean, I've seen, it's saddening the state of the world, right? It's just people that are just so dumb, and they're just sitting there in front of the computer learning how to put on makeup by some like little gay kid, right? And it's just like, I mean, it's just a fucking waste. 98% of human effort is wasted on just shit that we don't need at all. Like, we really could be freaking cruising around space right now, but we need to have all these wars and, crazy military all around the world. And so priorities need to change. Education needs to be focused on actual education. Get actual knowledge. Math, science. I think there's a word for it. It's like STEM or something like that. Science. Anyway, as long as it doesn't have anything to do with business, nothing to do with marketing, nothing to do with law, nothing to do with sports. So, because moving forwards, as we're looking at paying for free college, I'm totally supporting of that. But I also want it to be realistic. We're going to pay for college for I hope there's not like makeup school in that. I mean, seriously, because that is just gonna fucking piss people off, you know? I mean, the military pisses people off. I mean, I remember my whole life. $600 toilet seats, that shit should piss you off. The military just killing people around the world, that shit should piss you off, okay? But spending your tax dollar for some fucking retard to get a stupid ass education that's pointless, that's gonna piss people off as well. So we might want to just focus on the free education being for actual stuff that's important to the world, you know, and not shit that's just pointless. You know, you want to do art, you want to do acting, you want to do accounting in your spare time. That's great. None of that is a real job, okay? That's all fake jobs. We need to get away from accountants. We need to get away from lawyers. We need to get away from marketing. We need to get away from business. We need to get away from politicians, okay? We need to get 2 engineers, get 2 scientists, get 2 doctors, okay? This is the planet. This is the future, not... oh, how much longer are we going to have the left and the right arguing about every little stupid little fucking thing over and over and over again? Or are we just going to go, whoa, there's really nothing to argue about, right? The robots are going to be doing all the shit work. That's it. Unless the fools blow the planet up, the robots are going to do all the work. Now, we can either take advantage of this as a global society, or keep going down this stupid fucking road where the handful of people are going to just own everything and just rule everything, and it's just a proto-fascist society of these monster corporations having just all the resources sewn up in their fucking, and you know, controlling the governments and all that, and everybody else paying the taxes and not getting a fucking thing for it, right? Like now. So, education needs to be real. Purposeful education, not fake education, okay? Like Trump University would be a good example of a fake education. That kind of shit, right? ITT Technical Institute, that place is probably probably the type of education that people should be getting. People should know how to electronics work. That should just be taught in the high schools, that level stuff. Again, back to, we should all be EMTs, engineers, by the time we're out of like 10th grade. And that's totally doable if we have 5 students per teacher. Peace.